like peas are really like one of the signature kind of components of shepherd's pie. I don't know, like the little bursts of the pea in there. That sounds so gross. Who doesn't love a burst of pea in their pie? I'm Farideh Sadeghin, the culinary director at Munchies, and today we're gonna make vegan shepherd's pie. To get started, we're gonna make some mashed potatoes. We're gonna take about 3 pounds of potatoes, we're gonna peel them and cut them into 1.5 inch pieces, and we're gonna boil them. You don't have to be vegan to enjoy this. Normal shepherd's pie is delicious. We just thought making it vegan would be really fun and different for people. It's a really filling meal, good for winter, for, I don't know, whenever you want it. So these potatoes are rinsed off. We're gonna just cut them into 1 inch pieces, all about the same size, doesn't really matter, into a pot. And then I'm gonna cover them with water. I'm gonna season the water with some salt too, because like I said, the potatoes will absorb the water. It's kind of like salting pasta water. You know, the potatoes, they're gonna absorb that flavor, and that'll help so you don't have to like super season your mashed potatoes later. They should be done in like 20 minutes. While the potatoes are boiling, we're gonna cook the base of this shepherd's pie. We're gonna heat up our pan, and we're gonna cook the mushrooms. I took the stem out, because the stem on shiitakes especially is super woody and tough. So you wanna remove the stem, and then you just have the nice little caps. So just like that, this is about 12 ounces of shiitake mushrooms, just thinly sliced like this. We're gonna peel this carrot, and we're gonna dice it. We're gonna dice the 2 ribs of celery and the onion as well. I feel like if you're slicing onions and you're not crying, then are you even living? Like, you have to, it's just a part of onions. You cry a little bit, you know? So now we're gonna just heat up a little bit of olive oil in here, and we're gonna work in batches and cook these shiitake mushrooms. So the thing about cooking the shiitakes is that you cook them in batches because they get nice and brown. If you cook them all at once, mushrooms release a lot of liquid, and then they'll just be kind of stewing more so than browning. So if I do it in like a nice thin layer like that, they'll get much better color. So I'm doing this on like medium high, high-ish heat. I'm not gonna like fuck with it too much, just let it sit. All right, there we go. I'm gonna add in onion, celery, and carrot. We're gonna let these like soften a little bit. And you're looking for like mainly the onions to get translucent. So I'm adding the garlic in a couple minutes after because I don't want the garlic to burn. And there's nothing worse than like that burnt, bitter flavor of garlic. So basically the reason why they call it shepherd's pie is because it's typically made with lamb, but this is made with 1 pound of meat substitute. So I'm gonna add it into this guy. This meat substitute comes a bit seasoned, but just adding it in, we're kind of like just like combining it and marrying all the flavors together with the garlic and the onion and the carrot and the celery, all that good stuff. Next up, I will add in tomato paste. We're gonna cook that and let it coat a little bit. And then I'm going to add in, this is tamari, so this is a gluten-free soy sauce. You could use normal soy sauce, but this just, in case you're gluten-free and vegan, this is great. So use that. And then I'm also gonna add a teaspoon of fresh thyme, maybe like a couple sprigs, just chop it up finely. And then we're gonna add our mushrooms back in, just like that. And everything's kind of coming together. I'm gonna add in a cup of vegetable stock. You know, if you wanted to, you could use water even. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't have vegetable stock, not a huge deal. So I'm deglazing with that guy. Just kind of deglazes the pan and gets all that flavor that's built up on the bottom. It kind of like loosens up and gets it mixed into the mixture. I'm gonna take about a tablespoon of potato starch. It's just gonna help kind of thicken it up a little bit more and bind it even more, just like this. And then, last but not least, we have our peas. Since these are already cooked, you know, frozen, they're defrosted, I'm just gonna add them in last. Just like that. So this is all done. Just gonna set that aside, take it, remove from the heat because it's cooked, ready to go. The potatoes are done. A knife kind of really easily pierces into them. So I'm gonna drain them and then pop these guys in there. I'm gonna add my non-dairy creamer. It's about 1/2 cup of almond milk. And I've got about 1/2 cup of vegan butter here. I'm gonna put 6 tablespoons into this. We're saving a little bit because I'm gonna dot the top of the mashed potatoes with the butter because that's gonna help it get nice and golden on top of it. All right, a teeny bit of salt. You don't need too much because I salted the water, so it's absorbed a lot of that flavor. And then we're just gonna mash it. Mash it, mash, mash, mash it. I'm a mash hole. Just like that. Okay, and it's done. Tastes fucking great. Okay, next up, assembling our shepherd's pie. The filling goes in the bottom and it gets topped with mashed potatoes. Look at that. So just spreading out into a nice even layer, just like this. There we go. So we're gonna top with mashed potatoes. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. The thing about it, I like a little bit of texture, so we're not gonna make it too flat. In fact, I might even get a fork and just kind of like fork it up a little bit because it adds like a nice little texture to it. Just like this, all over the place, who cares? Texture, it's all about texture, people. We've got the rest of our vegan butter. We're gonna a little dollop there, because what the butter is gonna do now, some nice kind of golden hues and color on top. And just like that, we can pop this in the oven. We're just gonna put this in the oven at 375 for about 35, maybe 45 minutes. It's gonna get really nice and bubbly and golden on top. Here we go. Delicious. It looks good. So what we're looking for, this is nice and kind of like bubbling on the side, and you can see that butter on the top. It made the potatoes kind of like golden and a little bit crispier. It smells amazing. Oh man, that looks good. I'm gonna make the perfect bite with like potatoes and mushrooms and peas and faux meat. It's delicious. That's awesome. It's like comfort food at its best. I'm not vegan, and this is amazing. I would eat this. I'm gonna be making this and eating this throughout the rest of my life.